My name is Emily, and I'm 34 years old. I've always been passionate about gardening, ever since I was a kid digging up my mom's backyard while others played with toys. My parents thought it was a passing hobby, but it became my life. At 18, I studied landscaping and horticulture in college, despite my parents urging me towards safer careers like teaching or nursing. I loved every moment of it, even the dry lectures on soil types and plant diseases. After college, I worked for landscaping companies, but their lack of passion frustrated me. They cut corners, used low-quality plants, and rushed jobs. At 25, I took a leap and started my own landscaping business, pouring every cent of my savings into it. The first year was grueling, long hours, endless labor, and barely enough money to cover gas. My hands were calloused, and some nights I cried, wondering if I'd made a mistake. But my hard work paid off. Happy clients spread the word, and by 28, I could hire a part-time assistant. My business was thriving, and I finally felt secure. That's when I decided to buy a house. I was tired of my cramped rental and dreamed of a space to create my own garden. After months of searching, I found a small fixer-upper on the edge of town with a neglected but promising backyard. The house needed work, but the garden had endless potential. The mortgage stretched my budget, but I was determined to make it work. Moving day was pure joy. The house was modest, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with an outdated kitchen, but it was mine. I threw myself into transforming the yard, working late after client jobs to plant flowers, herbs, and a vegetable patch. I even added a small pond. 2 years later, my garden was a masterpiece. On a whim, I entered a small landscape design contest in a gardening magazine, and to my shock, won first place. My garden was featured nationally, a surreal milestone. But my biggest goal was paying off the mortgage. I lived frugally, no vacations, no new clothes, just my old truck and ramen dinners. Every extra dollar went to the loan. Friends called me crazy, but I stayed focused. At 34, I did it. The house was fully mine. The sense of freedom was indescribable. To celebrate, I planned to share the news with my family. My older brother, James, 37, is married to Lisa, and they have 2 kids, Ethan, 11, and Noah, 7. They live in a small rental and struggle financially. For 3 years, I'd been helping by covering their rent, and I often watched Ethan and Noah, who loved playing in my garden. Lisa always commented on my house, saying things like, "It must be nice to have so much space," or "The boys would love a yard like this." I brushed it off, but her words lingered. I brought a fancy cake and wine to my parents' house for a family dinner, excited to share my news. James, Lisa, and the kids were there, along with my parents. Over dinner, Lisa complained about their rising rent and cramped apartment. Finally, I announced, "I paid off my mortgage, the house is mine, free and clear." The table fell silent. My mom muttered, "That's nice, dear," but her tone was flat. James kept eating, barely reacting. Lisa's face flickered with surprise, then anger, before settling into a forced smile. "Congrats," she said tightly, "but it's not fair. You don't have a family to support like we do. We're stuck renting while you have this big house." I stayed calm. "It wasn't luck, Lisa. I worked tirelessly for 9 years, sacrificing everything to build my business and pay off the house." Lisa slammed her fork down. "It's a family house, Emily. James and I have a right to it." She started crying, turning to James. "She's being selfish. Think of Ethan and Noah. They need a yard, not a tiny apartment." To my shock, James nodded. "She's got a point, Emily." My parents chimed in, agreeing with.
For a complete story, follow the given link below. Please like and subscribe Meesha's Quest Tales for new stories.